The planet Viridian 5 was known for its jagged cliffs, violet sands, and the remains of battles long forgotten by humankind. Garrett Hayes, a xeno-anthropologist and scavenger, had come seeking relics from the old wars. He wasn't a soldier, nor a treasure hunter. He was a man chasing stories, and perhaps redemption. His ship, the Hollow Finch, hovered silently over a ravine filled with moss-covered bones. The air shimmered with heat, the twin suns high above. Garrett stepped out, breathing through his mask. His boots crunched over crystalline dust as he approached a broken obsidian arch buried halfway into the dunes. That was when he saw her. A figure lay half-buried beneath the sand and fallen rock, a female warrior, tall even in repose, with pale blue skin and armor that glinted with alien etchings. She wasn't fossilized. She wasn't decomposing. She was sleeping, almost peacefully, her body cradled by the land like an offering. Her chest faintly rose and fell. Garrett's breath caught. She was an Ae-Larin. The war between the Ae-Larin and humans had ended almost a century ago, after brutal losses on both sides. Their kind were known for unmatched strength, psychic senses, and a cultural code that humans barely understood. No one had seen a living Ae-Larin in decades. They were thought extinct, or hidden, waiting. "Just a scan," Garrett whispered, crouching beside her. The scanner beeped erratically. Her vitals were low, but present. She was alive. And beautiful, in an alien, terrifying way. Her lips were tinted silver. Her lashes curled like inked feathers. There was an elegant scar that ran from her temple to her jaw, a mark of war. He reached out, brushing sand from her face. "I wonder who you were," he murmured. The silence around them deepened. Time seemed to bend. Impulsively, foolishly, Garrett leaned in and pressed his lips to hers, a human gesture of reverence and awe. A kiss born of loneliness, of wonder, and ignorance. The air rippled. Her eyes shot open, vivid white blue, glowing like suns. Garrett stumbled back, heart pounding. She rose in one swift, fluid motion, towering over him. Her voice, when it came, echoed in his mind. "You have awakened me." He scrambled to his feet, arms raised in surrender. I'm not here to hurt you. I thought you were dead. You weren't waking up." She tilted her head, studying him. Then she sniffed the air like a predator tasting the wind. "A kiss. You gave me a bond." Her voice was sharp silk. "You chose one of two sacred awakenings, mating or revenge." Garrett's mouth went dry. "I didn't mean to, I didn't know." "Ignorance does not free you from consequence." She stepped forward, and Garrett instinctively stepped back. "I'm not your enemy." "Not yet." A sudden blur, she was gone from his sight. Then he was on the ground, her foot pinning his chest. Her blade, conjured from a wrist guard, gleamed against his throat. Why would a human risk awakening a warrior of the 9 vows? "I didn't come for you," Garrett gasped. "I came for artifacts. I didn't know there were any Ae-Larin left. I swear." She stared for a long, breathless moment. Her gaze burned through him. Then, without warning, she stepped back. "I am Commander Vel'shara of the Storm Legion. My people are gone. My bond has been invoked. My purpose must be chosen." Her tone was flat, deadly. "What does that mean?" Garrett said, still on the ground. She turned her back to him and looked up at the sky. "When awakened by a kiss, we are bound to the one who woke us. Either to take them as mate, or to end them in blood. No third path." Garrett's mind reeled. Surely there's a way to. Vel'shara rounded on him. "Are you worthy of either?" The silence that followed was thunderous. They returned to the Hollow Finch under a darkening sky. Vel'shara explored the ship like a wild beast caged. Garrett offered food. She refused. Instead, she meditated in the corner of the cabin, armor plates shimmering, eyes always half open. Why are the options only love or death? Garrett asked finally, seated across from her. Because the bond is sacred. A warrior only wakes if vengeance must be carried out, or if their soul senses something worth fighting for. You gave me no choice. Now I must choose. But you don't even know me. And yet, I dreamt of you before I woke. That sent a shiver down Garrett's spine. For 2 days, they flew across Viridian 5. Vel'shara said little, but observed much. She walked the sands like a queen returning to her kingdom. At night, she would stand on the edge of the cliffs and hum haunting tones from her homeworld. Garrett listened, unsure of how he'd come to care so deeply in so little time. On the 3rd morning, a storm rolled across the horizon, acidic rain and magnetic lightning. The ship was damaged trying to escape. They crash-landed near an old battlefield littered with fallen war machines. Vel'shara emerged unscathed, dragging Garrett from the wreckage. You risked your life for me, she said. You saved mine too, he whispered through blooded lips. You are not like the others. She pressed her fingers to his chest. He felt something cold and bright flow through him. I have made my choice. Garrett stiffened. Which one? She leaned closer, her expression unreadable. Does it matter? He stared into her glowing eyes, heart racing. Yes, he said softly. It matters. Vel'shara's lips twitched, not quite a smile. Then I choose to teach you. Before the vow is sealed, you must see what you have bound yourself to. Over the next few days, she taught him the rituals of the Aelaran, how warriors bonded through combat and trust, how memory was shared through touch, how mating was as sacred as war. She showed him remnants of her people hidden in deep caves, crystal archives, fading murals, a dying song encoded in ancient stone. And Garrett showed her earth music, old films, how to make coffee in a broken percolator. They were not lovers. Not yet. But they were something more dangerous, curious. One night, after climbing to a high peak where the stars glowed brighter than ever before, Vel'shara said, I was trained to hate your kind, to kill on sight. But now, I hesitate. Garrett touched her hand. I'm sorry I woke you, he said. She turned to him. I'm not. Then she kissed him, not a stolen, accidental kiss, but one that burned like twin suns. When they returned to the shipwreck, a fleet hovered above, human scavenger mercs drawn by the crash beacon. They opened fire without warning. Vel'shara took the lead, blades gleaming. Garrett covered her flank with a plasma rifle. They moved as one, back to back, like veterans of a shared war. When the dust settled, the scavengers fled, their ships in ruins. Garrett leaned against a rock, panting. Vel'shara approached, her armor scorched. Do you regret it now? She asked. He looked up at her, blood trickling from his brow. Not for a second. She knelt beside him and placed her hand over his heart. Then the vow is sealed.